The Run Happy Santa Anita Derby edition of the Coast to Coast Pick 5. Jeremy Plunk with first bet, along with Jeff Siegel. We'll have Brian Nadeau from Gulfstream along in just a moment. We've got a good sequence of races, including the Derby. Let's take a look at the schedule this week. We've got a mile turf allowance at Santa Anita in race number 3. It'll kick it off at 4:02 Eastern. Then allowance turf routers going at Gulfstream Park in the 8th. Charlie Whittingham, grade 2, stakes action for Santa Anita in race number 5. We'll have sprinters on the main track and allowance company at Gulfstream in the 10th. And back to Santa Anita for the Santa Anita Derby, race number 6. Total running time of the Pick 5 this week, 1 hour and 41 minutes. The next to last edition of the Coast to Coast Pick 5 for the spring. So let's hit some winners here. Mr. Siegel, let's start off in race number 3, that turf mile allowance.
It's a challenging sequence for me here at Santa Anita. I like to find singles. I couldn't find one in the 3 races that I'm going to do, so I'll spread the 3rd race going with number 6, Cash Equity. Also number 7, Carmelita's Man, and number 4, Flashiest. Very contentious race. Cash Equity just won a similar race for Phil D'Amato. He could come right back and do it again. Carmelita's Man, he's a deep closer. He was just 7th against Cash Equity, but he had trouble that day. He got swallowed up in the stretch. He had nowhere to go. He's better than that race. And then the other one that I'm going to use is number 4, Flashiest, who was won half of his 6 starts at this 1 mile distance, likes this turf course, and he was graded stakes place earlier in this year. He's going to drop in and get a great trip. So I got to go 3 deep. Number 6, Cash Equity, number 7, Carmelita's Man, and number 4, Flashiest. All 3 capable of winning, so I'm spreading the race.
Let's go to the 5th at Santa Anita, where it's the Charlie Whittingham and Phil D'Amato sending in the brigade, Jeff. He's got 3 of them.
Yeah, and I'm going to use Master of Foxhounds, who is 5-2 in the morning line because he's the lone speed. If he doesn't get in front, he's not that effective, but there's nobody to run with him. He's going to go to the front and be very tough from that position. Gold Phoenix, another D'Amato trainee. He just won the grade 1 Kilrow. So he doesn't always turn into alike, but he's dangerous off his best race, and he's the 2-1 morning line favorite. The other one that I want to throw in at a price at 5-1, number 2, Dicey Mochara. He was good enough to win the San Gabriel 2 races back. Last time he was no factor, but again, lack of pace in that race, had some traffic trouble. He's better than that. Again, any one of these 3 wouldn't surprise me. I got to use all 3, 2, 6, and 7, Dicey Mochara, Master of Foxhounds, and Gold Phoenix.
Santa Anita Derby wraps it up in race number 6. It feels like we've seen this race already in the San Felipe. Top 3 from the San Felipe are back. Is it those runners or somebody else?
Well, if I wanted to make a smaller ticket, I would probably end up singling Practical Move, but I have too much respect for Go Rocket Ride, who was 2nd to Practical Move off just a maiden debut sprint win. He was 2nd in that race to throw him out. He's really good, and he's going to get loose on the lead, which he didn't get in the San Felipe. And the way he's been training, he's going to take this field a long way. Having said that, I think Practical Move is maybe as good as any 3-year-old in the crop. His last 2 races have been spectacular, and he could not have looked any better training in the recent weeks. So I got to double the race, Practical Move, and Go Rocket Ride. I feel reasonably confident that I'll get out of this race unscathed by using both those 2 colts.
Good luck to you, Jeff, and enjoy Derby Day. We're going to throw the bat signal out for a single for Brian Nadeau. We're looking for a single at Gulfstream when we come back.
Coast to Coast Pick 5. $1 minimum. Player-friendly 15% takeout. Coast to Coast Pick 5. Weekends beginning January 7th.
We welcome in Brian Nadeau from the Silks Room at Gulfstream Park. A little quieter there post-Florida Derby, I guess. Royal Palms meet kicking up its heels. Brian's handicapping races 8 and 10. Let's start off with the 8th, an allowance optional claimer turf route. Brian, you can breathe easier now.
Yeah, a little different feel, no doubt about it, but still a lot of excitement, still a lot of good horses and a lot of good barns down here in South Florida, and this is a good race itself, and this is my long shot play, JP, on the Saturday card. Yeah, I'm going to try to get Prudencio, the 5, loose in here. Fausto Gutierrez had a strong summer last year. He quieted a little bit during the championship meet, and I don't think that's a big surprise, but now we're, maybe we get going a little bit. You look at this race, not a lot of speed in here. Prudencio is going to return off a little freshening as a first-time gelding. Let's try to get brave. Let's try to get you. Certainly Sendero has got some class for Todd Pletcher. You got to use him. He might be at the mercy of the pace, though. Whites of Broadway is a player for Cassie. And then Callie Thanis is as well, the 4. I'll call it 5-6-1-4, but let's try to take a deep breath and get Prudencio home.
All right. Then let's move to race number 10 at Gulfstream. It's a 6 furlong allowance optional claimer on the main. Who we taking here?
I'll give you the long shot, and I'll give you the best bet on the Saturday card. This is number 6,
Nice.
Gangley. He's just in too good form right now. That's the bottom line. His last 3 starts have just been so strong. I actually think he could regress a little bit and still win this. And quite frankly, I don't really see any reason why he would regress. He's got a perfect post to be outside. It's not the strongest field. Maddie's Dream on the comeback could be a major danger and is a real talent, but we haven't seen this one in a long, long time. I think Gangley gets him at the right time. Just too good for these, JP. Let's single him. If you want to back up, create again, high yield kit, and then certainly Maddie's Dream as well.
All right, let's review the ticket from Brian Nadeau and Jeff Siegel. As you see, it pairs down at the end. Brian's got a single at Gulfstream, and Jeff wraps up with the Santa Anita Derby, just going too deep. Good luck on Saturdays. Coast to Coast Pick 5. Be sure to check out the official track websites for updated scratch